On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Ethan buys a thing, Tony plays baseball, and Cole turns into someone else. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on?
I'm tired.
I'm tired too. I don't think I'm as tired as you are, but I am. So we are getting close to finishing up everything we need to do at the old house so we can give the keys to the landlord and be done. Never have to go back to that house again. So we spent all day today cleaning the inside, and that's a bit exhausting.
Sounds like it.
Tomorrow I've got to go mow the yard for the last time.
Just burned it all down.
I would, but I'd probably get in a lot of trouble. I think fires on your yard, setting a fire intentionally in your yard is illegal in the city limits.
That's why you gotta make it look like an accident.
And I just happened to be around the edges with a hose, waiting for it to, get close to the
Well,
house.
you just happened to be there and the fire started. The fact that you were awesome enough to have the hose ready and get it, taken care of before it could spread any further and doing damage on anything, that's just good housekeeping.
I mean, yeah. I saw the fire. I was like, it needs to be put out, but it's not hurting anything right now, so just let it burn. If it starts to get close to the house, we'll spray it. I'm on this. I got this. Firefighter and officer who's trying to put me in handcuffs now. So,
You just gotta talk your way out of it.
I don't know that I have, my persuasion skill leveled up enough. I'd have to work on that a little bit.
You get some more experience before you do that.
So I've been working on the lock picking skill lately, and I can only do so many skills at once.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, well, Cole is gone this week. He has taken a trip to some other state. I don't know where, but he should be back next week. But in his place, you heard his voice on the pre-show this week, where we played Rogue Heroes for a little while. First time we've had a group of 4, or at least that I've had a group of 4 together. That was interesting.
Yeah.
It was a bit chaotic, but it was fun.
I'm pretty sure it scales my the damage I take on there because I was getting wrecked.
So you were also wrecking a bunch of guys.
Very true.
But joining us this week, we've got Jason.
I think Cole's in the state of denial.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not ready to admit that the kittens in my house belong to his cat. So, we added a new pet to the house today as well.
Yeah, you did.
I think I sent you the pictures.
You added cat food.
Well, we're hoping not. But we have a bird in the house now.
Is this an official pet?
This is an official pet, yes.
Okay.
Not one that we've adopted, not one that was just sitting on the porch like the cat was the day we moved in.
I have a bird that made a nest above my porch light.
We got this from a friend of my wife's who is a bird breeder. It's a little budgerigar. So, but speaking of birds that make nests, in the house we used to live in, there's an in the wall air conditioner, like one of the window units, but they've just put it in a wall, and it's got this case that goes around the outside, but there's space between the actual air conditioner and the case that it goes in. And every spring there would be a pair of little like finches or something that would build a nest between the air conditioner and the box that it's in, and you could hear them building the nest. And when they start tweeting every morning, that sound comes right through that air conditioner into the house, and it was It was a good alarm clock in the mornings in the springtime.
Hey, it's better than having a pet rooster.
Well, if we had gotten a house with land, we would have some chickens. So, unfortunately, we got out in the country, but we don't have enough room for chickens. So, we'll just have to settle for a little pet bird in a cage right now. And now, some of the other kids are like, "Well, when am I going to get a pet?" And Andrew wants a pet turtle now, and I think Abby wants a hamster. So, well, before
You
we're
just gotta
done, we
set
will
them all
probably
down
have
and say, "Well, this kid is the favorite," and then just hope for the best.
Well, part of it is that he will be moving out into a little mini apartment above the garage, and
Oh,
the bird will go out there with him. So,
cool, very cool.
one of the reasons we bought this house was because it has a 2-story garage that had already been framed. We just have to get the drywall and stuff to put out there and uh, finish up that second story. So, and make it livable for someone.
And then never see him again.
That's probably not true.
Very true.
He'll have to eat sometimes.
He has a bird.
So he'll yeah, I don't think he's gonna be cooking his bird that he just got. So I think he kind of likes the bird and would like it to be around for a few years. So, well, aside from pets and getting pets in the house, Jason, what have you been playing this week?
Well, same thing I've been playing every week is Vampire the Masquerade. The only thing I'm going to say about that is go watch our little playcast over that. Me, Ethan, and Stuart do that on a weekly basis. Uh, been also playing some Monster Hunter Rise with Ethan and Stuart. And that game, if anyone's played Monster Hunter, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into.
This one's really good.
It is beautiful. It's a really pretty game. And it still has all of the quality of life updates that Monster Hunter World brought in for the most part. Also been playing a little bit of a game called Deep Rock Galactic. Have either of you heard of that one?
No.
Nope.
It's a game on Steam. It is multiplayer, goes up to 4 people. Basically, you are dwarves, and your goal is to just go mine things out in these space asteroids.
Okay.
You have different classes of dwarves you can be. The only ones I've played is the gunner and the scout, but like the gunner has a bunch of different guns that he can use. Scout, I mean everyone has guns, but scout's known for more like lighting up areas and being able to use a grappling hook. Every class has their own special ability they can use for either mobility or defense in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's another dwarf that can make like little machine gun turrets, and there's all these little monsters in these asteroids, and one of the dwarves has the ability to like tame one of the monsters, so it's on your side for that whole mission, at least until it dies, basically. But yeah, so it's a really fun multiplayer game. If anyone is looking for a good multiplayer game to play, put it on your wish list definitely, and pick it up whenever it goes on sale on Steam. I'd highly recommend it as a multiplayer game. Uh, Another multiplayer game. Speaking of, and this one's a much more open world game. I've been playing a bit of this with one of my friends called Valheim. Have either of you played Valheim?
Like 30 minutes.
So
I have heard of it. I have not actually seen anything of the game.
it's another one of those early access games on Steam, but it feels like it's much more late stage into the early access. It's pretty polished. There's not very really any glitches we've really noticed. That none gate breaking at least. The game has quite a bit of a difficulty curve starting off. You pretty much start off with absolutely nothing. Uh, Nothing but pretty much the loincloth around your waist and your fists, and you have to make your way up to being able to get an axe, getting wood, building a small house, figuring out how building houses works, realizing that you can't have a fire inside your house without some sort of ventilation, otherwise you will die because of smoke inhalation. things that actually would matter in real life. Uh, the point of the game, I guess, is you're in, I guess, the afterlife or something, and you're trying to kill all these old gods, I guess, I don't know if you're trying to get another chance at life or you're just doing it because Odin told you to or something. It's got a bunch of Norse mythology kind of allusions to it. Uh, but it's a really interesting open world. I really enjoy just exploring and filling out my map and more recently sailing in the game. Takes a while to get to the point where you can make boats. And if you start off making a raft, you can find out there are these little things called sea serpents. And if you're on a raft, you're pretty much like a sitting duck, just as an FYI. So probably a better idea to go on a boat. And yeah, I mean, it's just a really fun game. There's lots of progression, and I guess kind of like Minecraft, but like a much harder version of Minecraft. That's about all I have ready. Do you guys have any questions about it?
Is it like Minecraft in the sense that you're collecting the resources and then building stuff, or is it
Mhm.
just like a survival style game that
Ye-
because you start out with almost nothing and you can punch trees?
So there is survival aspect to it. There's a lot of just collecting and just progression and you can like take the game as slow or as fast as you want, though a lot I guess the slow part will still being figure out where the next boss is and there's a lot of prep work involved in the game to getting further in the game. You can't just go run straight to the next thing and hope for the best. You're gonna actually have to uh, kind of gather resources, livestock, meats, cook meats, and everything. When you want to make an expedition to an area, have a bunch of items with you. So there's a bit of survival aspect to it. I mean, if you go and just stay in the game and stand in one spot for like 24 hours and just like have a high advantage point, I mean, you can survive. You don't have to eat or anything to stay healthy or anything in the game, but it will be to your advantage to have a full stomach because it gives you more stamina, so you can have more endurance to be able to perform actions and give you a little bit of health regen as well, or even a higher health bar. Uh, yeah, I guess there's a lot of survival aspects to the game, but there's also a lot of just if you want to build a huge house and do something really cool, make it look really nice and get all these little things and set it up how way you want to. There's that too. Later on in the game, you have to deal with things called raids where monsters can just like spawn and try to attack your house. So you have to kind of be ready for that. But that's kind of later in the game once you've I don't know if it's like a day progression or if after you've beaten like the second boss that starts happening. I'm not exactly sure what causes that to happen, but there are certain things that as you progress in the game and beat these bosses, you get access to certain things and powers that let you kind of go into the next area, basically.
Okay. That seems pretty cool. I know a lot of people have said I should play this game. They think I'd enjoy it, but I
I would
haven't
definitely
actually.
play it with other people. I personally find it much more fun playing with other people. Now, I guess if you like playing Minecraft alone, you
Yeah, see,
might
I don't.
enjoy that, but playing with a lot more people will be more fun in at least in my opinion. I like playing games with other people, and it's just fun having kind of share space and having someone else to help you like cut trees down. By the way, trees are very deadly if you let them fall on you. By the way, so
I mean, in as they should be. If a tree really fell on you, it would hurt a lot.
I mean it's also a great way to like kill enemies as well. Just kind of chop a tree down on top of them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only things I've been playing really lately.
All right. Well, what about you, Ethan? What have you been playing?
I've only been playing the usual stuff, so I mean, I could talk Destiny 2. They're doing the Guardian games. I think we actually did that last week, which I meant to upload the episode today because I got lazy on that, but it'll be up before this episode goes up. Um, like Jason said, Vampire the Masquerade, even though he's the one playing it, but me and Sarah are along for the ride on that. Uh, what I actually did this week that's more interesting than that, I ordered an arcade cabinet
You did, didn't you?
for the low cost of $500.
Whew. That's a bit of money.
That's not a one-up arcade cabinet.
No, it is an S&K MVS cabinet.
Okay.
And this is one of the newer ones, not one of the originals, which I would be all for having one of the originals, but
Hmm.
I mean with this one I'm getting 50 games and it's the entire S&K library that for the most part as far as I know, I don't know what all is S&K
Is
related
this
that
just
was
one of
on
those that
MVS.
they've built and they've just put all their games in and they're like, here, we can
It
sell
was
these
it was
things.
all their
People.
arcade games basically just thrown in on here. So there's going to be like, oh gosh, 5 or 6 King of Fighters games.
Isn't the
No,
arcade like 80% fighting games?
yes.
Okay.
And then the other set of the arcade is other fighting games. I'm actually pulling it up right here.
SNK made a lot of fighting games.
I mean, I know there was the Metal
They made
Slugs.
a lot of good fighting games. So I'm getting King of Fighters 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3. Then there's Metal Slug 2, 3, 4, 5, X, Samurai Showdown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 Special, Fatal Fury 1, 2, 3 Special, Real Bout, Real Bout Fatal Fury, then Real Bout Special, Real Bout 2, the new. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of stuff on here. I'm going to stop right there on the.
If you like fighting games, get that arcade cabinet is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
And want to play Metal Slug in between.
Yeah.
so like I said, I paid the $500 for this one. There was the $400 pack where you just get the bar top cabinet. And, well, wait. No, it was like 450. It's just the bar top version of it where it's like you can put this thing anywhere and like on a table or whatever. Or you pay the extra $50 and it comes with the stand, so it looks like a full arcade machine.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I went for, and the stand by itself costs $100, but if you do the package deal, it's $50. So I had no reason not to get that, and so that's why I hopped on that. They did say these are like pre-orders, even though I know they'd opened up with orders. But they're like, okay, so expect this in like 15 or 16 days to ship, and then like I have a shipping confirmation already. Like the following morning, I already had a shipping confirmation.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's
So,
pretty good.
yeah, I'll have it next week. Well, this week as of this episode. Yeah, I'll already have it by the time this show is live.
Yeah. I've got space for an arcade machine, and I'd love to have one, but I'm waiting till I see one of those arcade one-up machines drop to like $50, and then I'm gonna put a Raspberry Pi in it.
I was gonna say, is there a particular one you're wanting?
No, I'd like to have one of the ones that has four controllers. But any of them, if any of them I see show up for $50 anywhere close to town, I will go and get one.
Oh yeah,
I think you're gonna be finding a crowd if they get down to $50.
Yeah, he'll
They've
definitely
been that low before.
Yeah, but have you seen what happens on the Orcs group? Those guys are like, hey, here's the back of my U-Haul trailer that I just rented full of arcade one-ups for
Yeah.
$50. Well, I'm
Well,
exaggerating about the U-Haul thing. They usually have like minivans, and there's like 5 or 6 of those things stacked up in there.
Yeah. I'm hoping, because I live in a really small town now, and I know there are some sitting in the Walmart, that I can get one when it drops to $50, because they'll eventually want to clear out that space, and that's when I'll try to get one.
Honestly, I'd wait for like the Turtles in Time or
Yeah.
That's basically the one. The Ninja Turtle one's the one I would wait for, because
Yeah.
that's what the original arcade game, and then Turtles in Time. So
Wait, that one's not out yet?
no, it's
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's just I'm saying wait for a price drop, which I don't think will happen anytime
Okay.
soon.
I'm pretty sure I see like the Galaga and Miss Pac-Man ones all the time.
Yeah, but then you have Galaga and Miss Pac-Man.
That's true, and they're only one player. So
And I'm pretty sure they only have like what, one button if that.
yeah,
At least with
yeah.
at
So
least with like Turtles in Time, you have probably 4 buttons each, and
No,
four
what?
players.
Turtles Time you just have two buttons and a joystick. I thought
I don't know. I don't. I've never
jump and
played.
jump and attack.
Do I look like I've seen the arcade machine for this?
the Street Fighter one would be a good one to get
Yeah,
as well.
that would have a lot of buttons.
You know what?
If you're making Mortal Kombat
Just
1.
make your own control pad for it.
Yeah,
You
I
made
don't know
it
that I
Mortal
want
Kombat
to.
1, you'd be golden with all the buttons.
Need at least 6 buttons on an arcade cabinet.
You really do.
So yeah, the what I call it the MVSX Complete Home Arcade. That's what it is. That's the thing I ordered.
Oh, they are making Mortal Kombat 1. It's not out yet, though.
Right.
Has 6 buttons.
Oh man, I almost had to stop and make a trip to Walmart. I pulled up the Walmart app while we were talking, and I saw one. It's the Marvel superhero arcade machine for $75, but it's
Oh,
out
that's
of
not
stock.
bad.
Oh.
Walmart. So
It's like I'd probably hop on that one.
like if that one had been there, I'd been like, "See you guys, I'll be back later. I gotta run to Walmart."
I wouldn't blame you. I'd be like, all right, we'll see y'all next week, and end the show right there.
So the only other ones we have in stock at this Walmart are the NBA Jam and the Turtles one,
Oh,
but they're both $400
Jam.
bucks. So
What is that, like just regular NBA Jam and Tournament Edition, or?
it's I don't know what it's got in it, but I think it may just be NBA Jam.
Well, I've never saw the arcade version of that, so I don't really know. So, Tony, what have you been playing?
I have been playing NBA Jam. No.
Oh, okay.
Hang time.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah, it is just NBA Jam. That's it.
Okay.
So.
He's on fire.
From
No,
downtown.
I've been playing a little bit of MLB The Show 21 this week.
That's not basketball at all.
No, that is not basketball. That is another sport that starts
It's
with
Major League Basketball, isn't that what it stands for?
It's Major League Boxing or Major League Bowling, something
Oh.
like that. So no, the newest MLB game just came out, and for the first time ever, it's on an Xbox system. And because I'm a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, it's on an Xbox system, and I don't have to pay anything for it.
And
And it's pretty good.
okay.
So I am a little bit disappointed though, because I didn't know going into this that the versions are different depending on which generation of the game you get. And the one feature that I was incredibly excited for was the new stadium editor that lets you create your own stadiums, which hasn't been in a game for quite a while. But there have been games in the past that I've played that had stadium editors, and I use those, and I really, really like creating unique stadiums to play baseball in. With this, though, you only get it if you get the Xbox Series S or Series X or the PS5 versions of the game.
Okay.
And I went and I turned on the game and I was looking. I was trying to find all the different menus. I looked through everywhere. I was like, where is this, stinking stadium editor? Did they bury it so deep that nobody wants to use it? But that's not the case. I looked online and it said, click on this one menu and it's right there. You should be able to see it. And then I found out that it's not available on the Xbox One version of the game, which is what the Game Pass version of the game is. So I was a bit disappointed, but I then went in, created my character, and I've started not the new Road to the Show, but the Road to the Show mode, which is the one where you create a character and you play as that specific player and only that specific player. So you don't have to play the full 9 innings of a baseball game. You only have to play the parts where your player is involved. So
So you're not
I
sitting there
just
watching all the stuff, being bored for a while.
yeah, or playing the whole thing. And I don't like to play as every player. I really just want to play as my own guy. I'd play the whole 9 innings and just watch the game, but I like this version of it because it takes about 5 minutes to play a baseball game instead of 2 hours to play a baseball
Right.
game.
Are you able to set that up where it's like you just set up the game and watch them play
Oh
without
yeah,
you playing?
you could set 2 teams to CPU and just watch the game.
Kind of like how they do Super Bowl predictions and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you could do that, but
Okay.
I create every year. I played catcher, and so that's the type of player that I create. So the only time I'm ever actually doing anything in the field is when one of the opposing team tries to steal a base, and then I have to play and do the part where I try to throw the runner out, and then I have to play all of my at bats, and that's it. So it literally takes between 5 and 10 minutes at most to play a game. So it's a lot easier to get through a 162 game season than it would be having to play the entire game.
Wait, so if you only play whenever it's your person's ability to, when you guy has a duty to do anything, do you know in advance then when somebody's trying to steal a base and it's like, hey, you
Yes,
need to get ready?
yes.
Okay, I wasn't
So,
sure if you had to be
so
on the edge of your seat and like, oh, catch it, and then you know you have to get in on it.
no, so what it's doing is when you're not actively doing anything, it just shows like the box score and the lineups, and it shows you what happens for each player. But then whenever it comes up to where I have to do something in the field, it actually goes to the game, and they start the pitch, and then you do your part, and then it goes back to that other screen when you're done with that, and it just keeps simulating until either your at bat comes up or somebody tries to steal a base again, something like that. So, one of the changes they've made to that though this year is because there's one player, I think his name is Shohei Yotani. He's what they call a two-way player, where he is both a pitcher and a fielder, so he can play, multiple positions. And they give you the ability to be a two-way player, so you can play as a pitcher, and then on days you're not pitching, you could play one of the other positions in the field, or you could be like the designated hitter in the American League. Um, so my character is both a catcher and a relief pitcher. So occasionally a game will come up and it'll be like the bottom of the eighth inning or something, and it's like, hey, you need to pitch now, and so I have to do the pitching part, and then once that half an inning is over, my player usually gets replaced. So that's it. That's all I have to do is a half an inning of a game, and that's it. So it's very, very streamlined. That's one of the things
Hmm.
that they've tried to put a focus on over the last few years is streamlining that experience so that if you don't want to spend 2 to 3 hours playing a baseball game, you don't have to.
But if you want to, you still have that ability to
Oh
do
yeah,
so.
you still do. They have all of
Okay.
all the usual stuff. You can play exhibition games where you do everything. They have seasons where you can play one season and take control of everything. They have like a franchise mode where you can not only play on the field, but then you also get to make roster changes, sign players to contracts, and do all that stuff if you want to do that as well. So you can get as crazy or as involved in a team as you want to.
Sounds crazy.
And generally, I pick up a baseball game. Like, baseball's my favorite sport, but I usually play these games about 6 to 7 months after they normally come out because they go on, pretty deep sale at that point. But this is the first time in quite a while that I've been able to day one play a baseball game because it's on Game Pass. So, and it's got a bunch of online modes. I haven't touched any of that stuff yet. I don't know if I'll ever do anything like that because I don't know that I want to play baseball against other people. I just want to get in, play my team, play my character, and be done. So, but that is what I have been playing this week. Just some baseball, along with been playing a bunch of Street Fighter with Jake. He's been wanting to play Street Fighter lately, so and he's never really played it before, so he's learning how to play Street Fighter right now.
You playing the original Street Fighter 2?
Yeah, we're playing Street Fighter 2 on the Switch.
Okay.
So it's Ultra Street Fighter 2 HD. It's that one.
Okay.
So because of it, though, I'm considering picking up a fight stick because it's really hard using the analog sticks on most of the Switch controllers to really do anything. And I think he's struggling a little bit with some of the controls because the way these analog sticks work, I think it may be the third-party controller issue. I don't know. I haven't tried it with a first-party controller, but it's really hard to accurately tell where you are on the stick. So sometimes you'll think you're pushing back, but you're really pushing it. The game is registering it as you pushing down because you're not perfectly pushing the stick to the right or to the left, and you're pushing it slightly below that 90-degree mark. So I'm wondering if a fight stick might alleviate some of that.
It'll definitely have a difference.
So
Whether it alleviates it or not, I mean, it's just going to be a different style of play at that point.
that's true. And he's sort of gravitated towards Chun-Li and Dhalsim. Those are the two characters he's looking at playing mostly. He tried playing Guile, but he's had a really hard time figuring out the exact timing of stuff because Guile has
He's
all
a
of
charge
Guile's
character.
moves
Yeah.
are charge moves. So
Yeah, and like the original release of Street Fighter 2, it was like the CPU could just instantly pull those off no matter what. Didn't have to charge them.
Yeah.
Good times.
So, but that is what I have been playing this week. So let's take a quick break, and then we will come back and we'll talk about the news. So, during the break, Ethan, you said you got into the xCloud beta, and that is the first news story we're going to talk about today. Microsoft this week has launched in beta, a limited beta, the PC and iOS versions of xCloud. So,
No longer limited to what Apple has been holding us back from.
yeah, so if you had previously done xCloud on iOS, you could play Halo, and that was it. That was the only game they had available, and then xCloud just disappeared because Apple was going to force Microsoft to, go through testing for every single game on the service. They wanted you to have them boot up as separate, or they wanted you to have them on the phones or tablets as separate apps and not launching the app and then going into the game. Well, after that, I think it was Stadia, or maybe it was Luna. It was Luna that launched, and you could launch Luna through a browser, and it was just like launching Luna on PC. Well, that is exactly how you do it now with iOS. So you can, if you've gotten into the beta, they sent out emails to people this week, to Game Pass subscribers, to test out the PC and iOS versions of it. And if you've gotten into the beta, you can launch a browser on your iPhone or iPad and go to, I think it's xbox.com/play,
Yes.
and sign in to your Xbox account and just launch xCloud and play games on your Apple device. Same for PC as well. You can just open up a browser. I think it works for just about anything. I know Edge, Firefox, Chrome.
Yeah, I just did it on Chrome.
All of those browsers work. And it's just like launching the app. So if you have the Game Pass app, you'll know exactly what it looks like. And if you're familiar with that, you'll also understand the boot times, how it works on your network whether it works really well. Like on mine, it works really well. I don't have a lot of an issue with lag on my network. Boot times are a little slow because you're booting up the Xbox One S versions of these games. So it takes a while from the time you select a game to the time you're actually playing.
Yeah,
But
it did take a moment to really get logged into the Destiny 2 servers, even though the game had already booted up.
mhm. And you have to have an Xbox controller. So whether you're playing on iOS or on PC, you have to use a controller. It does not recognize mouse and keyboard if you're playing on PC. Even for games that do have mouse and keyboard support, like the Master Chief Collection or Sea of Thieves or Destiny. That's the one thing about this that I am not super happy with, because I want to be able to use a mouse and keyboard if I'm playing on a PC, but you can't. You have to use a controller.
Now, do you think that's in any way try to make it more of a fair level playing field for people on this PC playing against people on a console?
Maybe, because playing the cloud versions of these games, you are playing the console versions, so you're booting into that ecosystem. So maybe there's a little bit of that. But if those games support mouse and keyboard on console, there's not really much of an excuse as to why you couldn't do it, unless it's a hardware thing, and it may be. I don't know. There may be something that is limiting the ability to have xCloud recognize that you have a mouse and keyboard plugged in, even if you're playing on a PC.
Might just be because it's in beta through a browser right now.
Yeah, it's possible that that will get fixed. Because like I booted up Halo. It was the first thing I tried because I wanted to try out mouse and keyboard support, and I knew the Master Chief Collection had it. And when you first start the game, it asks what controller type you want to use, and I selected mouse and keyboard, but it was not recognizing that I was using that controller input. It would only let me use an Xbox One controller. So, but I'm gonna be playing a little bit of it this week and testing it out, because I'm a big proponent of cloud gaming through whatever it is, whether it's Stadia, Luna, xCloud. If PlayStation ever really got PlayStation Now to a position where it could compete with them, I use PlayStation Now a lot more. But if you're interested in getting in that beta, keep an eye out for your email, because you could be getting an invite if you are a Game Pass subscriber. I know I got in the second day. I was able to log in on Wednesday. I got the email saying I had been invited to the xCloud beta.
I got
think
my
you got
email
yours
this morning.
Yeah, today. So it seems like they're sending those out to a fairly large number of people to test it out, and I've given some feedback on some of the stuff, because whenever you play a game, when you get out of it, it gives you the option to give feedback every single time, but that's both feedback on playing the game and the xCloud service as a whole. So you get the chance to give feedback on both of those. So Microsoft is getting closer and closer. I really, really hope we get actual xCloud on PC, so you can play PC games on xCloud, and not just boot into the console games. So, so there you go. This week, Nintendo, or not Nintendo, but NPD numbers had come out for the last month, for the month of March, and one of the things that a lot of people were talking about was the fact that Mario Kart 8 has now become the best-selling game in that series. So,
Really?
combining Wii U and Switch sales, there is no greater seller in the Mario Kart franchise than Mario Kart 8. So, which is not surprising if you've been paying attention to it, because it's been in the top 10 sellers list since it came out. I think there have been very few times, if any, that it's dropped off of the list of the top 10
Is there like a
best-selling
bundle or
games.
something that's got that included or something that we're missing out on?
There may be a Switch bundle that you can get with Mario Kart 8, but there's not like a Mario Kart, Switch bundle.
Right.
So, uh, but that was interesting, and not only that, and I don't know, I have not fact checked this, but one of the sites that does a lot of NPD numbers has said that not only is Mario Kart 8 the best-selling game in the Mario Kart franchise, it has become the best-selling racing game in the United States across all generations.
Okay.
So, bigger than Forza, bigger than whatever that one was on PlayStation, which I have gone blank.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Gran Turismo. Bigger than F1, the NASCAR games. Mario Kart 8 is the game
Bigger than
that more people are
F-Zero.
playing.
Oh.
That's not too hard to do, though, unfortunately.
Don't say it like that.
Was the GameCube the last time we got an F-Zero game?
If you don't want to count the
Does-
Wii U.
Does Smash Brothers count?
No.
An F-Zero character is not the same. Like we've got there's more F-Zero in Mario Kart 8 than there is anywhere else, almost.
In the last several years, yeah.
So,
Well, there's the arcade.
was there an arcade game?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Shannon even talked about it.
Oh, the one that he was like looking for on that Disney cruise or something?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like just
He
the
talked highly of
GameCube
it.
version though? Like upscaled for arcade?
I'm honestly not sure. I can't attest to that.
So one of the things I really wish we would get is that Mario Kart would get the ultimate treatment. But I don't know that Nintendo's interested in moving on from Mario Kart 8 right now because it's still selling so well. I think if they came out with a Mario Kart Ultimate, that could possibly even outsell Mario Kart 8. But I don't with how good it's selling right now, I don't know if now is the time to bring another Mario Kart game to market.
You're
Have
right.
they been adding any more DLC for that game?
No.
They have not done anything to that game.
That's amazing that's still in the top 10 then.
So,
As
well,
What they
Switches
need to do-
still continue to sell.
What they need to do is give us Diddy Kong Racing.
I don't know that we'll ever get that again. So,
Well,
Got
I
it
mean,
on
no
the
one said
DS.
Rare had to be involved.
well, that's true. But I think
And
if
they
we're
could
gonna
easily
get
could because of the relationship with Microsoft.
Microsoft. Yeah, I think if we get any Diddy Kong content, it would be through Mario Kart. So, but like I think a Mario Kart Ultimate style thing that brings back all the tracks, all the characters, all the modes. So you could do Double Dash in Mario Kart Ultimate, or you can do single kart racer or single character karts. That's what I want is a bring everything to the franchise before you start expanding past Mario characters. Even though they've done a little bit of that now, Mario Kart could eventually get the Smash Brothers style treatment and bring other characters in as well. I don't know if that would go over well with the community or if they'd want it to stay with mostly the Mario characters.
I thought the funniest thing in Mario Kart 8 was when they had that little deal, I guess, for the Mercedes Benz, or what was that vehicle that
Yeah,
was
it
in
was
it?
Mercedes.
Yep.
Yeah. Have a real vehicle inside of it.
So, did those make it to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or were those just on the Wii U?
I thought it was just a Wii U promotion, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't remember if they made it to Mario Kart 8 or not, or Deluxe. So, but yeah, Mario Kart 8 is the best-selling game in the franchise. So, continuing to do with that franchise what the Switch has done with just basically every Wii U game and made it the best-selling game in its respective series. So, another game that could get that same treatment is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Oh, snap.
Because Capcom announced that this week that on July 27th, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which I believe was previously Japan only, is coming to PS4, PC, and Switch.
I am so excited about this. I've been wanting these games for a while.
Like, until recently, I wouldn't have cared, but I've been playing the the Ace Attorney trilogy on the 3DS. So I'm a bit more interested in this franchise than I previously was.
I mean, I still want all the other Phoenix. Well, there's only one other Phoenix Wright game we haven't gotten yet. Perfect Prosecutor 2. But this will be
Ace Attorney Investigations 2, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's what the American version name is.
Well, it's not like you got the Japanese version played through it all.
Oh, I didn't. I like the Japanese name better.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
For people that aren't familiar with this game, it does not star Phoenix Wright. So they're not Phoenix Wright games. They're Ace Attorney games. And it also takes place 100 years before the original Ace Attorney game.
Mm-hmm.
I think even further than that, but it is one of.
It's around 100
Phoenix
years.
Wright's. Is it? Oh, I thought it was even further back. Okay.
According to Tony's show notes.
Oh.
Wow, Shoney's tone notes.
There's a Shoney's. There's a Shoney's in town, but I am not Shoney's.
I have not been to a. Did we talk about Shoney's like last week or something? Didn't we?
We've talked about it, I think, a couple times.
It's like really recently. That is so crazy.
Because
I've not been to one in years.
We've moved to a town that has a Shoney's, and that was the first thing my parents did when they came and visited us. Was
they still have the bear as a mascot, right?
I have no idea.
Okay. So yeah, 100 years or so before the first one.
These games also take place in England rather than Japan.
It's because it's like loosely based off. Oh my gosh, Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, you did not misread that.
Nope.
I was scared to say that after the Shoney's thing.
I think it had to do with some licensing stuff. They couldn't use the name Sherlock Holmes, so they changed it to Sherlock Holmes.
It's like Sherlock Holmes is like public domain practically.
Not completely.
I think he is.
It is mostly. I actually know this because when that movie came out on Netflix a little while ago, Enola Holmes, there was a big thing about it because Sherlock Holmes is mostly in the public domain, except for instances where he basically shows emotion. And I'm not kidding. That was a big thing with this game, was that they were doing some stuff where Sherlock was more compassionate in the movie. In the books, he's pretty much, emotionless, with the exception of some very late books. So he's not completely in the public domain. So that's why they went this route, so that they didn't have to worry about licensing and doing all that. In the next few years, he will completely be in the public domain, but he is not as a character yet.
Okay. Man, remember Sherlock Holmes in the 21st century?
Oh gosh, don't bring
was
that
a cartoon?
It was a cartoon.
Yes.
I don't recall it actually airing, but apparently it did.
I remember, and I watched a couple episodes of it. I don't remember it being very good.
That's why I don't recall ever seeing it.
I don't know that it was that bad. You wiped your memory of it, but yeah.
But then again, it's like you saying like there's a show called Biker Mice from Mars, and I swear you're making that up.
That is a real thing. Even I can attest.
That did happen, just like Street Sharks.
Man, Street Sharks was awesome.
Oh.
Anyways, I am really looking forward to all the puns and stuff that will happen in this great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Oh man, the name puns are so great.
I mean,
no matter which game it is. Like Mr. Saw It or whatever his name is in the first game. Oh man.
Yep, July 27th, and that will be available for PS4, PC, and Switch. Also this week, the original Shantae game came out on the Switch, and WayForward made a big deal about this because for the first time ever, all 5 games in the series are available on one system. That has not been the case up until this point.
It's crazy.
I started, as you said, I was thinking about the Frozen song for the first time in forever.
So the Game Boy Color game came out this week, and I think there's a physical release of that as well coming.
Limited run
Yes.
games.
Yes.
Um,
I think
An
they
actual
did.
Game Boy Color copy.
Yes. That's what I was about to say. They did an actual Game Boy Color release of the game.
mhm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure both me and Ethan have that pre-ordered.
I have a
Yeah.
shipping email on that already.
I'd really like to have one of those Game Boy Color cartridges, but
If you have
I
one of
do
the
not.
originals, that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
Those things are crazy expensive.
Yeah, it is crazy
So.
expensive.
I've played the original one because it was available on the 3DS through the Virtual Console.
Would you say it's worth that going value?
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't pay that much for it. If I could get a decently priced original copy of that game for the Game Boy Color, I would get it. But I'm not paying hundreds of dollars for that game. Because like I see the roots of Shantae, but I don't think it's a great game in that series.
Yeah, it wasn't until Risky's Revenge where the game was
Risky's
like
Revenge
fleshed out properly and
Yeah, that was
really
the
fun.
second game that came out on the DS. That was a DSiWare game.
No, it was the game after that I'm thinking of then.
That's Pirate's Curse.
Pirate's Curse, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Risky's
Wii U.
Revenge is just a mess navigating that world map.
The biggest problem with Risky's Revenge is it's hard to figure out where to go because the map is awful.
Yeah, that's the only reason I haven't finished it, because I don't know where to go.
That sounds like Wild Arms.
Do I have Wild Arms?
But yeah, Pirate's Curse was where the game finally sort of nailed that navigation, and it really figured out what kind of game it wanted to be. And then after that, they went into HD with Half Genie Hero, and then Seven Sirens, which I haven't played yet. It's the only one that I haven't played in the series. So
yeah, Seven Sirens isn't that fun. It's pretty big.
I think
it's like
that was
generic.
That was originally an Apple Arcade game.
Oh, and it shows.
So
it is. It's just like, all right, go explore. It's like closer to a Metroid sort of thing, but not. It was boring.
really,
Very boring.
all right. Well, that stinks. Half Genie Hero is the only one that I've ever 100%ed.
Half Genie Hero had a lot of content.
It did, and it had a lot of DLC that was released for it. So
Yeah, but you're replaying the same game. That was the problem with that.
yeah, so I
Even when you're playing as like the three
the other
friends, it's
characters,
the
yeah.
same game.
yeah, just with slightly different powers and abilities.
It's like they changed the story up a little bit to match everything, but I would say like for the most part, playing as through the Mighty Switch Force, whatever that version is, where you hit control the blocks in the background.
Yes,
That one changed up the game enough where it was a different experience. Even
I
though
had forgotten that they had put that DLC in there, and you could play as a Paddy Wagon.
yeah, that was a lot of fun doing that stuff.
So, and then our last bit of news this week, there were some pictures from
Yeah.
the set of the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 film set.
Yeah, and the pictures have confirmed that Knuckles is in the movie.
Okay.
What the pictures they're showing, I'm guessing 1-to-1 scale models of each of the characters. So you have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles,
Yeah.
and Knuckles it looks legitimately how Knuckles has always looked. Well, aside from the one time where he was
Sonic
different.
Boom.
Yeah. So he just looks like Knuckles. So that's pretty cool. Tails looks like he did at the end of the first movie. Spoiler.
Mhm.
And Sonic's there with his blue arms.
Like, I'm legitimately excited for this movie. That first one was really good.
Also, the internet wasted no time putting the and Knuckles on stuff, but then the diehard Sonic 2 fans who whenever you put that Sonic 2 cart in on the Sonic and Knuckles cart, it says Knuckles the Echidna in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And so people were popping up with that for a meme. So I was like, all right, guys, that's clever.
Hardcore Sonic fans will go.
They go the extra mile.
Yeah, they go to great lengths to meme. So, but there you go. That is it. We just wanted to confirm that we will be seeing Knuckles in the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie whenever it does finally come out. So,
And Knuckles. And Knuckles. And Knuckles.
that will be the show for this week. So thank you, Jason, for being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. And Ethan, thank you for being here as well.
I just looked over to see how long we've been recording for, and I thought I hit stream instead of record.
Oh, man.
Streaming Destiny again.
You'd be pulling that stream down and using that audio.
I'll download it and then delete it. Well, I would delete it from the stream thing, not the... good times.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can send us an email to procedurallygeneratedent@gmail.com or direct messages on Twitter at ProGenENT. Facebook users can join our Facebook group by searching for Procedurally Generated. You can subscribe to the audio version of the podcast by going to Podbean or by searching for us on whatever podcast app you prefer.